Hello everybody and welcome to my first attempt at a Tekkit tutorial, and this is a basic introduction to the world of Tekkit and the additions that it makes. So basically, as I'm sure you are aware, the purpose of Minecraft is to mine and then use those resources to produce something cool that require more resources and then so on and so forth. And Tekkit takes us up onto the next level by adding some sort of steroidal effect with the automation and machines that can be delivered. So the first thing you're going to need to do when you start a world within a Tekkit environment is go mining, as ever, collecting some resources. And the game contains the same generic resources that you would expect to find in normal Minecraft. So you have coal, iron, gold, redstone, lapis, emeralds, diamonds, and it adds quartz. You can also get each of these ores in the nether as well. So when you do eventually get enough obsidian to create another portal and move into the nether realm, you can also find nether coal, nether iron, nether gold, and so on and so forth down the list. Be wary though, mining nether ores angers the residents and you will make the pigmen attack you, but it also has the added benefit that you get much more coal from a nether coal block than you do from a single coal block. You get much more redstone and much more lapis, the chance for double emeralds and so on and so forth. So it is much more efficient to produce or gather those particular ores as far as the number that you get. And quartz and nether quartz are extremely useful when it comes to a number of the recipes required for some of the more complex machines within the Minecraft world added to by Tekkit. In addition to these ores, we're also going to see an addition of new ores. So copper is added, and it's an extremely valuable resource and is used very heavily in the Tekkit machines. You can also get it on the moon, which is why it's at the top here. So you have it on Earth or in the Minecraft realm, in the Nether, and on the moon. We also have tin. Tin again is a very heavily used resource for the machines added by the Tekkit pack and available in the Nether and on the moon. You then also have lead, silver, and ferrous. So these ores are all used in different recipes and again very similar to but different to the pattern. So when you're seeing these, you'll mine and produce and collect lots of them during initial stage. You also have this green block which looks a little bit like emeralds but it isn't. This is quantum ore. This is added by QCraft and is more useful realistically for aesthetic values or creating portals between different environments and or different servers. In addition to these, you will also find that you can have and find cheese in the or on the moon. And if you are going to use some of the advanced systems within Tekkit, you need to enable the uranium ore block, which again is available in both the real above ground Minecraft world and also the Nether. But you need to modify a part of the what's the word I want to use, text file for the mod in order for this to spawn in the world. If you don't add this or change the text file for this before you start a game, you'll need to find new chunks after you've turned it on. But basically, when you are seeing these items within the world, you're going to want to mine them. And you're going to get your ores, as you would expect you would. Now, within the context of Minecraft, that's something you then take to a furnace and you would smelt it in order to get an iron ore block. But there's no real point in doing that in Tekkit because you want to maximize the efficiency of the ores that you are collecting. And that's where this bad boy comes into play. So this bad boy is a grindstone. Now a grindstone is produced by adding stone, a wooden gear and cobblestone with Certus quartz dust. Now Certus quartz dust is something you gather by mining the quartz. Now, I didn't get lucky that time. You get basically Certus quartz and quartz dust sometimes. But once we have produced the grindstone, we then also need to produce a wooden crank for it. The wooden crank is just a number of sticks. So it's very easy to produce. And just in case you didn't know how to produce a gear is just sticks in a circle. Okay. That gives us our grindstone. Now the grindstone works by taking your ore, putting it in the top here, and then by simply clicking, and you can always hold on the handle. So as a manual component, it takes time, which means it's not particularly or massively efficient. You can then go through the process of turning that single ore block into 2 pulverized iron. Now, if you were to put these 2 pulverized iron into a furnace, you would end up with 2 iron ore blocks. So it's much more efficient to put your ores through these grindstones, before you put them in the furnace, because you effectively double your ore output, making your mining trip much more efficient or require much less time and effort. So you see we get 2 ores for each entry we put into the grindstone. So that's a basic introduction to ores and how to turn them into dust. Then we want to have a look at the next stage up. So you want to build a powered furnace using a copper ingot, a redstone reception coil, which is redstone either side of a copper bar, and bricks, a machine frame, and redstone. A machine frame is simply glass, iron, and gold. So there's nothing complicated about producing these machines. And finally, a pulverizer, this is going to be the most useful machine that you'll create, is copper, flint, a machine frame, and a piston. The combination of these two machines, simply put side by side, looks like this. So you have the pulverizer and you have the powered furnace. And within each of these devices you have an interface like this. And this interface allows you to configure how you want the machine to react or interact with those around it. So these sides each represent a side of the item, and then a color indicates whether they're an input or an output. So all we want to be able to do is effectively output anything this device produces to the right. And then to the right we have the powered furnace. We want the powered furnace to input everything from its left. So it's input and output. Okay. Now what we could do is put an output here and then throw down a chest. So I will just quickly grab a chest, all 64 of them. Okay, so now it will output into the chest. So this offers the same functionality as the grindstone, in the sense that if we were to grab some iron ore, we can put it into here and it will pulverize it once it has power. And we'll look at power later on. So this will start to generate power, it'll start to receive power. Once it has enough power, it will start to pulverize the items. We also need to switch on the engine to power the furnace, and that will eventually, once the power has kicked in, give you enough of an ability to produce or pulverize the iron. So this is an automatic way of doing what this grindstone does. And this is the very basic or initial things that you want to get set up in the world of Tekkit. Get yourself to a position where your pulverizer is pulverizing your ores, and then you are putting them into a furnace which will cook them into ingots. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the basic Tekkit tutorial, episode number 1. When we have a look at episode number 2, we'll move on to having a look at the different engines and how they are created and how you use them within the Tekkit environment. So we now have pulverized iron being cooked by the furnace, and we'll finish by having a look at a nice iron ingot being dropped for us into our chest. There it is. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, I hope you find it useful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.